Everybody, as we go into week 6, let's give you pro tip number 7 around video conferencing. Some of you are like, hey, what about pro tip 8? I thought we just did pro tip 8 with your cooking, Steve. I did it over the weekend, but we got to finish up the whole video conferencing thing. So today we're talking about video conferencing and audio. But before we get started, I want to share with you an inspirational testimonial video that we got from one of our satisfied customers around background and camera angles. I'll let him tell the story and then we'll come back at you. So enjoy this testimonial video.
Hey Steve, many thanks to you. As one of your divorced friends trying to compete in this very competitive FaceTime dating space, I realized after looking at your tips that I was making a mistake. In my earlier photo, you saw a mirror behind my head, which made me look like I was a water buffalo with horns. I've since removed the mirror, and now I like my chances to have more second impressions.
Thank you, Mike. That was so inspirational, and I appreciate you having the courage to share your story with all of us around how you're using better video tips to advance your dating scenarios and the frequency that you get those second dates. Good job, man. Thumbs up to you, and keep on cooking. So let's go ahead and move into audio tips and get everybody started with audio tips. Pro tip 7. So first things first, when you go on to a video conference, you always want to make sure that your microphone is muted. You never want to join with the microphone live because people are going to hear you getting in, they're going to hear you shuffling around, and ultimately they're going to hear you say something like, Steve here, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then what do you expect? 50 people to say, yes, we can hear you? So start with your phone muted or your video conference muted, and then go ahead and turn it on when the video conference begins. It saves everybody a lot of those background noises, which sometimes can be embarrassing. If you're going to be using one of those corded headsets that actually has the mic hanging down here, you got to remember that that mic is going to rub up against your shirt or your scarf or your ascot or whatever you may be wearing for that video conference. Make sure that you either have that thing propped up so it's around your mouth, but it's not rubbing up against your shirt, because that creates a distraction for everybody. The other thing I want to call to your attention is wind is your enemy. We'll go outside and demonstrate that. And then the last thing before we go outside, I want to let you all know it is best to be on mute for most of the video conference call. And remember, if you're not on mute, people can hear you talking. So when your boss says something and you think it's kind of like a dumb thing to say, and you say, what a dumb a-hole, or I can't believe he's so stupid. If you're not on mute, that is absolutely going to come across to everybody on that video conference call. So be mindful of when you're muted and when you're not, and I always recommend stay on mute as long as you can. You notice that I'm wearing AirPods, right? So I'm wearing Apple AirPods. I find that these wireless headsets work best when doing a video when you need good audio. If you have these, I would definitely recommend that you use them because they're so much better than the microphones that are on your laptops. Whether you're on a Mac or you're on a ThinkPad or a Dell or whatever you're using, these AirPods or any sort of wireless headset are going to give you better audio quality, and I highly recommend that you use them. So hey everybody, I'm outside because some of you like to show that outside look, and I'm outside here at our office here on Peachtree in Atlanta. And you can hear like the outside noise is going to start overwhelming the call. So as much as you want to be cool and show everybody you got a patio or maybe get a different background going on, the audio on this is terrible and it's such a bad idea for everybody else on your video conference call. So stay indoors, or if you are going to be outside, at least put the headset in, but that's probably not going to help you either. Stay on mute and don't go outside. This is another bad example of video conferencing audio quality. I'm in a pretty big open room with no carpet. There's a lot of echo. It sounds terrible. There's a TV with like Master Chef or Hell Chef or something playing in the background. You don't want that. That's a bad experience, bad audio. Stay away. So there you have it. Those are the audio pro tips that I have you for your video conferencing. So to recap, great testimonial from my man Mike. 2, use headsets when you can. Make sure they're cordless. If you're going to go with the corded stuff, make sure it doesn't touch your shirt. And for God's sake, don't put on those big aviator headsets. You just look stupid on a video conferencing call. But that's on the visual part. If you're going to go outside, you got to stay out of the wind. The trade-off's really tough. Make sure you use a headset. If you're in a big open room with no carpet, make sure the TV's off, and again, use a headset. And for the love of God, start your call on mute, leave it on mute as long as you can. Don't ask if everybody can hear you. And when you're gonna say clever things during the call about your boss or some other coworkers or some strategic plan that your company's putting in place, absolutely make sure you're on mute. You guys be safe, take care of each other, good luck with everything, and we'll catch you with Pro Tip 9. Peace.